Morning, y'all. Rick Fearless, Stroker's Dallas, Stroker's Ice House, Punctuality Garage and Fearless Services. Good morning. How you doing? You all right? Today is Friday, January the 19th, 2024. In My Life, the 366 Project. Season number 2, episode number 19. Today we will cover Grandma's Cooking, Dennis the Menace, and Respect the Paint. Let's go. Today the Mr. Peabody Wayback Machine is going to go back to 1969. My brother and mine, Grandma and Grandpa, lived in Sayre, Oklahoma. We used to spend every summer there. First, before I get into that, let me say that a guy paid me a great compliment recently. He said he watches this show every day. He said it's the best 9 minutes of his day. Thank you. So we would go to Sayre, Oklahoma every summer. And what I remember is my grandma, she didn't really drive. And Grandpa would be working all day. And sometimes he was the county commissioner for Beckham County. And sometimes we'd go to work with him all day. It'd be me and my brother Randy and our cousin Deanna. Sometimes we'd work with Grandpa all day, and sometimes we'd stay home with Grandma. And Grandma pretty much spent every day in the kitchen, all day. This is what we would eat. For breakfast, you had fried eggs. She had a big platter, and she would put 24 fried eggs on there. Fried eggs, bacon, ham, sausage, fried potatoes. She always made pancakes. She always had homemade biscuits and gravy every morning. So you ate that early in the morning. Then around lunchtime, Grandpa would still be gone usually unless it was a weekend. And you would take the homemade biscuits and the leftovers from breakfast, and you'd have, biscuits and sausage or bacon or whatever. That's what you had for lunch, which they called dinner. You had breakfast, dinner, and supper. Supper was the big production. You usually had fried chicken, or if my grandpa had been fishing or one of the neighbors brought some fish, you'd have fried fish, sometimes meatloaf. You always had some kind of vegetable or a couple of vegetables, a lot of times corn on the cob. You had fried potatoes or a lot of times mashed potatoes. Always had pinto beans. Grandma always had homemade rolls with butter and honey. And then there was always homemade ice cream and a pie or a cake or both. We ate this every day for 3 months when we were there. There was never a time where Grandma didn't cook. She cooked every day, breakfast and supper, every day. She had these, they were called potato cakes, and so if you had like mashed potatoes that were left over, she would take them and she would pound them into this pancake looking thing, and she would fry them and get them crispy on top, and she called them potato cakes. Oh, they were good. Y'all ever have potato cakes? Maybe that's a southern thing. What I wouldn't give to have my grandma make me another supper. Let's check that chuck. Check that chuck, you big old... Wait, what in the world you got there? These are some strange looking chucks. Okay, I'm going to tell you about these. So this is a quilted type material with stitching, white stitching. You've got a black and gold and white Converse Chuck Taylor All-Star logo. See, these vent hose aren't really vent hose. I looked at them yesterday. They're just some rivets in there to look like vent hose. What's going on there? I think because these shoes are supposed to be warm. The inside of them are fleece. So you got a white toe, white sole, double white invisible racing stripes, white stitching, black shoestrings. They came with white shoestrings, but I added the black. Got to customize them. One eye down, double knotted for safety. Yeah, I'm going to say it. These are, say it with me, y'all, these are some handsome Chucks. And I'm not kidding. They really are. They're warm, too. We were 60 degrees yesterday, but now it's getting cold again, so it's only going to be a high of 35 or something. Dad joke. If you can't be kind, then be kinda vague. Huh? Which one is that? Yogiism. I usually take a 2-hour nap from 1 to 4. Southern slang, gimme. Gimme that one over there. Gimme. Get off the couch, a motivational minute. Never forget how you got to where you're at, in case you got to go back. So, you know, I was in the paint business for 20 years, and I retired from the Glidden Paint Company. So, little known Rick Fairless fact, when I'm walking through a parking lot, you know, and you got the paint stripes and all that, I don't walk on the paint. I tell my wife, respect the paint. In case I got to go back to the paint business. In case this motorcycle bar thing don't work out, I can always go back, so I respect the paint. I won't walk on the paint. Sometimes you have to, but I usually don't. Strokers Dallas merch, merch.com. Check it out. Got a lot of cool stuff on there. I'd appreciate it if you would support the family. Great parts business, great motorcycle business, bar business. We got a party tonight. We had a bunch of Southwest Airlines people last night. Can I say God bless Southwest Airlines? They have helped keep me in business. They have been a huge part of keeping me in business for almost 30 years. When I talk about never forget how you got to where you're at in case you got to go back, that means stay humble. That means don't get full of yourself. That means remember what it was like when you were trying to build something, when you were trying to get to where you're at now. Don't forget that fire and that hustle. Okay, I'm going to leave you with this. Jay North played Dennis the Menace. He was a mischievous kid. All of us of a certain age remember Dennis the Menace. But did you know, as an adult, Jay North, Dennis the Menace, was a correctional officer and administrator for the Florida juvenile justice system? Yes, the same Dennis the Menace was now mentoring juvenile delinquents. And that, boys and girls, is the rest of the story. Okay, Rick Fearless. I gotta give me some work is what I gotta do. Why don't y'all try to come see me? I'd love to see you. All right, I gotta go. Love you, bye. Hey, I'll see you tomorrow.